Hi guys, and welcome to a new life science video. I was first apologise for my voice and general ickiness. I am quite ill at the moment, which is why it's been quite far between our last video and this one, so I'm really sorry about that. Please forgive me. I'm going to be talking through one of the life science fact sheets, which I have here, but it's in black and white. The actual version is really colourful, but I am poor, so I can't afford colour printing. But I'll put a link to the actual the website where you can download the colourful version and you can have the real one. This one is about it's a self-injury fact sheet for friends of people who self-injure, and it's really good because it can people who are around people that self-injure, a lot of the time they get the raw deal in terms of support, because it's hard to know what to do, I think, when it comes to them, because it's very difficult to know what to say, I think. So this starts off saying, what is self-injury? And self-injury is any deliberate, non-suicidal behaviour that inflicts physical injury to a person's own body. Self-injury is essentially a coping mechanism that enables a person to deal with intense emotional distress, creating a calming sensation. It may also be used to awaken a person who is feeling numb or disassociated. A lot of the time, self-injury is given a really bad reputation, as opposed to it is just cutting. But I think one of the things that people need to understand and realise is that it's definitely not just cutting. People find different ways to hurt themselves. People can burn themselves, pinch themselves, scratch themselves, stuff like that. Self-injury has an immediate effect, creating instant relief, but it's only temporary. The underlying emotional issue still remains. In time, self-injury can become a person's automatic response to the ordinary strains of everyday life, and both frequency and severity of self-injury may increase. This is where it's key that as a friend you look out for the warning signs. A lot of the time, if people self-injure, they don't want to show it off. They will cover it up the best they can. So obviously long sleeves, I've rolled mine up, but you get the gist. Long sleeves is a key one. Obvious amounts of a lot of bangles all of a sudden when they didn't used to wear them, stuff like that really. Just, if a person, I'm not saying you need to be on a person's back about everything and be like, why are you wearing that? Why are you wearing that? But no, just be aware that if these things are happening, maybe your friend needs a bit more support. At Life Signs, we recognise that self-injury is a coping mechanism, and we never judge a person or tell them to stop. Instead, we encourage them to make positive changes in their lives and in their behaviour, and enable them to find healthier coping mechanisms in order that they may choose to move away from that self-injury. This is exactly what you should do. You should never tell them to stop. You should just help them move towards better coping mechanisms that are better for them and healthier for them. After all, self-injury will affect people from all walks of life, regardless of age or gender or sexual orientation or anything like that. You may think that your friend will never suffer from anything like that, but so many people have said the exact same thing. The most common forms of self-injury are scratching, cutting and burning, and non-suicidal overdosing. A lot of the time they use self-medication through smoking and drugs and stuff like that. Many people find their own unique ways to hurt themselves. Obviously I'm not going to go into them because that can be quite triggering for people. But people can be very use a lot of initiative, and when they want to hurt themselves, they'll find a way. Discovering that someone you care about is hurting themselves can be really overwhelming, and if your friend tells you themselves, you may not know how to react or what to say. But if you suspect your friend is self-injuring, you may be unsure whether to mention it to them or not. First of all, the main thing I can say to you is do not panic. Your friend's not alone, and neither are you. Self-injury is this coping mechanism, like I say, but it is a non-suicidal behaviour, and it does not usually mean that your friend's at serious risk. It's not ideal, and it's not by no means a nice thing, but it doesn't mean they're necessarily going to kill themselves. Your initial reaction will have a massive impact on your friend. It will take so much courage for them to have come up to you and have told you that. It's a massive part of their lives, and no one wants to delve that information out to just anyone. So please don't misuse that trust. It will affect your future relationship with them and how much they talk to you in the future and how much they trust you in the future. So really keep that in mind. Keep in mind that it's a coping mechanism, and if your friend's hurting themselves, then it's because they're suffering some kind of emotional distress. Basically avoid increasing this distress by considering like these points that I'll read out to you. Educate yourself around the issues surrounding self-injury. You can do this by visiting Life Signs. I will put a link, as usual, in the description. Don't be negative or accuse your friend of attention seeking or being emo. These are all stereotypes that should never have occurred, because they're ridiculous. Anyone can self-injure. It's not just a teenage thing, it's not just a girl thing. Middle-aged people do it, men do it. It's a coping mechanism. It doesn't make the person any less of a person. Anyone can suffer from it, even you. So one day you may be on the other side of this. So be good to them. Your friend will just need to be heard. Let your friend know that you're there for them, but don't push them to talk unless they want to. Just make sure they know that you're there if the need should come up that they need to talk. Knowing that they've got a place that they can go to and a person they can talk to will be such a load off their minds. Don't tell anyone else or gossip about it, and unless your friend has said, can you tell so-and-so, I can't bring myself to do it. Like I said, it will take so much trust to have told you in the first place. For you to then go and misuse that trust is really bad. It's really going to affect them in a negative way, and it's going to affect your friendship. Focus on the underlying problems behind your friend's self-injury rather than the actual self-injury itself. Do not ask to see their scars. That is like being asked to run through town naked. It is a horrible thing to be asked. I've been asked it myself. It's so not nice. Personally, I am very ashamed of how they appear to people that don't understand. And so for someone to ask when I don't really know how they stand about it, when I've just told them, it really is a horrible thing. So please don't do it. Focus on why they do it and what's up with them and how you can help them focus on doing other things instead, as opposed to the actual act itself, because that's really looking at it in a quite a pessimistic way. Recognise the limitations of yourself and encourage your friend to seek help from teachers or parents or anything, but don't force them to. Just make sure they know where they can go to get the support. Treat your friend as the same. They're still the same person, and it doesn't make them abnormal or a freak. Please, for God's sake, don't start treating them differently or like you've got to walk on eggshells with them. Again, that's happened to me, and it's so frustrating. It's like you're suddenly a different person. Your self-injury does not define you. And your friend is not suddenly defined by the fact that they self-injure. They're still the person that you know and love and that you've had a laugh with, and you can still have a laugh with them. Don't think that by making a joke now they're going to go off and do it. They're not. They need you to keep them happy. Encourage your friend to seek health and happiness every day and continue to do lots of fun things together. Same as usual, just treat them the same, really. Just make sure that nothing changes. Remember to take care of yourself. It is difficult coping when you know someone you care about self-injures. So don't be afraid to seek extra support for yourself. There are places out there that will support you if you're a friend or a relative or something like that of a person who self-injures, like Life Signs. Hello! We've got a lot on our website. Again, links will be down here. Go and explore. Self-injury is a way of coping. However, the same problems can cause emotional stress, can also lead to thoughts of suicide. If your friend ever mentions suicide, please take it seriously. Inform a teacher or a parent or someone. Even if your friend says don't, suggest that you can tell someone together, because a lot of people always say, oh, we talked of suicide, but I never believed them. Don't make that mistake. How gutted would you feel if you didn't do anything and it was really, they were asking you for that cry for help? We've got our forum as usual, so you can log on there and talk to loads of people in the same situations, like-minded people, get advice off them, talk to them. It's a great community anyway, even if you just want to have a chat about random things. Just go on our Life Science forum, links, like our Facebook page, our Tumblr, our Twitter, all on there. Basically, any social network that you enjoy. We are there whenever you need us. Yeah, so like this video, share this video to people if you think that it will help them. And yeah, hope to see you soon, guys. Bye.